Hello, welcome to Shakti Power Yoga. Today we will be trying a different myofascial release technique. Previously on my channel we used a foam roller, and now we're going to be using a lacrosse ball. So you can grab a lacrosse ball for this practice or a tennis ball. A tennis ball is going to be a little bit lighter, work a little bit less deep into the muscles. If you're not a fan of deep tissue work, deep tissue massages, definitely opt for the tennis ball. You'll also need a chair and a wall, but you won't need a yoga mat for this practice. So we will start with the glutes. So grab your lacrosse ball, place it on the wall, and you want to place it on the left glute and just start massaging it out. You can move unilaterally side to side and up and down or in circles, whatever feels good. And you just want to keep on moving around until you find a tight spot and then hold until that muscle releases. So your fascia is made up of fibrous connective tissues that are closely packed, and they're full of collagen, and they're in the direction of how your muscle stretches. So on your quadricep, it would be in this direction. And it's really important. You can go ahead and switch sides. It's really important in order to limit stretching in bad directions and keep you stretching well in good directions. But when the fiber has adhesions against the muscle, then that prevents the muscle from moving. It kind of snags and creates pain and tightness. So we're just trying to work that out today. Keep rolling and pause on tender spots. Your fascia is this wave-like pattern, so it starts all wavy, and then as you stretch, it straightens out, so it's straight by the time you're fully stretched. Great work. We'll move on to the upper back. So take your ball to the inside of your shoulder blade and start massaging here. You can move up towards the neck, whatever feels good. Again, keep the motion going until you feel a tender spot and then hold. Self-myofascial release is best to do right after a workout, but really you can do it any time of the day. It only takes a few minutes. And just like stretching, best results are seen with consistent practice. So if you do this for 5 minutes a couple of times a week, that's great maintenance. If you have an injury you're trying to work through, do it every day. Go ahead and release and take the other side. I like bringing it up high and working into my neck. And release that, and we will take our chest. So bring the ball close to the armpit. Start there, and then you can work inward towards the chest, all through the pectoral muscle. And we'll take the other side. Release that and come and find your chair. A chair that's best for this practice is a bar stool, something that's up high, so that your legs can swing freely, but any chair is fine if that's not available to you. So take the ball under your hamstring, and you can start by moving side to side with the knee. You can move a little bit forward and keep on that side to side motion so that we're stretching out the entire hamstring. And then you can take the knee and flex in all different directions. So I'm flexing like out and straight in front of me, into the inside to get all the different sides. I can move forward and do it again. If you regularly use a foam roller, you'll see that this feels very similar. You're working very similar ways to stretch out those muscles. Really, the tennis ball, lacrosse ball is just more accessible. You can switch sides because you don't have to buy a foam roller. But for me, I have a foam roller and I just like to switch things up. So I'll do 2 days of this type of work and just kind of do whatever I feel like, either a lacrosse ball or the foam roller. The only time that I actually just need the lacrosse ball and the foam roller can't compete is using it for my plantar fascia, which is our next and last move. It's definitely, if you're a runner or any kind of activity where you're pounding on your feet, this is so necessary. And flex and point again. Bring it up and do it again. Great. Okay, the last move is for your plantar fascia. Go ahead and put your ball on the ground and start rolling from the very heel to the tiptoes. So full range of motion, really light. We're just warming up the area. And your plantar fascia actually runs and attaches in the Achilles, so you want to make sure you're kind of going up the back of the foot as well. And now you can take circles around the midfoot, and then just like anything else, just like all the other poses, you can pause anywhere that feels tender and really work into that area so you can hold. Even if you don't find an area particularly tender, it's really great to just put it on the ball of your foot and then press down, and it's a really nice calf stretch. So like this. I can do this forever, but we'll switch sides. We started with that full range of motion, just warm up, and now I'm taking circles and holding at tender spots. For this one, since it's most relevant to me as a runner, I like to take my time with it and find like 2 or 3 tender spots and really work into them. And I would just do my feet for 5 minutes. So if anything felt extra tight, you should return to that and work out those tender areas. But if you felt pretty good, then just continue to do this as a maintenance plan. And we're done. So thank you so much for joining me today. I know this is a little bit of a different video. It's part of my Hegel set, so it's focused more on PT style videos. But thank you for practicing with me. If you have not tried the foam rolling video yet, check it out. Otherwise, I will be back next week for a more traditional practice. Thank you. Namaste.